basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand?
He's mad. Let's talk to Buck about it. Joining me now, somebody who doesn't really need any introduction, obviously. It's Buck Sexton. Everyone knows who Buck is now because he's such a big deal. Hey, Buck, Donald Trump's upset, and I kind of made the point in the open that he got this upset with Putin and Zelensky too. For Trump, everything should be a business deal. Why don't we just do a deal? Why are we fighting? And I think he gets frustrated with these places. They don't want a business deal. They want to fight. Does that make sense?
Oh, when you're talking about the Middle East, that's definitely the case. I think that, and there's other places around the world where that's true too. I mean, I remember from some of my time over there, Jesse, in the old GWAT days, where I would talk to forward deployed, Marines like yourself, or even people who were on the PRT, the Provisional Reconstruction Team, which is like the State Department guys. And long story short, they're like, hey, if you guys stop shooting each other, meaning in Iraq specifically in this, if you guys stop shooting each other and like putting IEDs out there and acting like maniacs, you'll have clean drinking water and electricity, and we'll build your schools. So like we all get it. We should all stop shooting each other. They're like, nah, we're gonna keep shooting each other. That's just the reality, unfortunately. And I mean, that was the cold hard truth that we saw over in the Middle East. Like, it's like, you guys are the same religion, but a different denomination, like Sunni Shia. You really hate each other that much? Oh yeah. Oh, they do. So yeah, it's something that I appreciate Trump's frustration on it at some level. Obviously, in this case, it's Israel, it's Judaism and Islam in the case of Iran. But I appreciate also that he's showing everybody, look, he expects a certain approach to things when he's involved, and even if you're on our team as an ally, like, he's still going to call you out if he thinks that you're causing a problem. So even Trump, I think, sees that it's going to be a little bit of a tough sled to get these two to stop shooting missiles at each other.
Buck, let's switch gears a little bit here. I'm worried. I have this worry because of how down the Democrat Party is. It's not just that they're down, they're going down. Their popularity's even worse. They can't stop loudly campaigning on every issue that Americans hate. They appear to be a suicidal party that'll be completely defunct about 5 minutes from now. But obviously, you and I both know, we've been at this long enough, that's not how it works. At some point, they'll rebound, they'll come back. Mm-hmm. What's that look like? How?
Well, I think I don't want you to have to take out your womp womp noise over there in the studio, but we just saw not only the worst major party presidential candidate. I think Kamala was substantially worse than John Kerry, substantially worse. I mean, I think she's truly the worst candidate that we've seen in our lifetime. That made it through a primary, or not even, sorry, she didn't make it through a primary, that ended up as the candidate. And it came after the mass fraud of Biden's whole reelection, he doesn't have dementia thing. And you change a couple of 100,000 votes over, 4 or 5 states, and she's the president. Everyone needs to remember this. Like, yes, Trump won a resounding electoral college victory, and it's amazing. And, the good guys won, the cavalry, came over, the Comanches had to flee, like, yay, it's all great. They almost, by the numbers, pulled off Kamala as president after having to pull Dementia Joe. So that is my way of answering your question as to, will they come back? They absolutely will. I think they misplayed their hand on the issue of immigration specifically. I always knew that was going to be where they try to dig in, but they needed to wait until we got beyond the tattooed MS-13, like, human trafficking dirtbags, and started picking up, people that are just here illegally, and maybe some grandmas, some abuelas, etc., and start sending them. They didn't wait. They went right for, how dare you kick this non-American gang member and like narco trafficker out of the country. It's like, you guys are psychos. So and the other thing is, I thought they would start to move away from the gender identity theory stuff, the trans stuff, right? And they haven't. They're actually doubling down on that, which is remarkable to me. So I think that the area where they're going to probably get their footing again, Jesse, is going to be something that's a combination of healthcare. And if the deportations ramp up, they're just going to try to make people cry about it a lot. But I also think most Americans feel like they got really scammed, particularly under Biden with the border. And so maybe that won't work. But healthcare is just an excuse for communism that pulls on people's heartstrings. You know what I mean? Like universal healthcare, the Bernie stuff. So that's probably where I see them rallying. Or if we get an ugly correction in the markets, they'll freak out and say it's Trump's fault. Those are the plays that I can see.
Buck, why not let go of the tranny stuff? Because the immigration stuff, look, you can argue they're doing it wrong, and of course they are, but it does make sense. Mass importation of foreign barbarians with no value system whatsoever is perfect for the Democrat Party. Those are going to be Democrat voters forever. But the tranny stuff is not popular. It's the most minuscule portion of the population, so you're not going to get extra voters from it. And it's not like those people have any money. They're a bunch of freaks. Now, if we're just talking about, gay stuff, there's all kinds of billionaire gay people out there, but the trannies don't have any political weight whatsoever. So looking at this purely political, why not just let them go?
So I've actually truly thought about this a lot. And I wrote about this. There's a chapter on this in my book that's coming out, Jesse, which will have to come onto your show at the end of this year to sell.
I didn't even do that on purpose.
Thank you. Shameless plug. But no, really, the issue of the trans ideology stuff, I see it in two ways. One is if they win on this, they win on everything. And that is to say, if they can actually get their way on something that is truly a binary right and wrong, which is, men are men, women are women, they're not the same thing, and which society should treat them differently. If they can get people to say, yeah, that 220-pound guy with like a big beard, but now wears a dress and has long hair and puts some eyeshadow on, like that's a chick and he should compete. If they can get society to go along with that, they can get society to go along with absolutely anything, right? It's like this is, as you know, Jesse, from maybe your book on anti-communist manifesto, that the communists, even if they knew that you didn't believe as a person living in a communist country like Soviet Union, the things that you said, mouthing the preferred slogans was demeaning, right? So even if they knew that you knew that the grain harvest was actually horrible and there's mass starvation, it's shut up, say the grain harvest is great. Because then they own you, because you're just part of this. You're part of the propaganda machinery, even if you know it's untrue and you're just bowing to force. So that's point one on it. And then the quick point two on it is that there's a force multiplier effect of the trans agenda, which is, it's not about the trans individuals. It's about the medical establishment, which, as we realize, I think this was what really shocked parents too. Like the American Academy of Pediatrics is like, yeah, like if you want to, castrate your 12-year-old or whatever and turn him into a girl, go for it. I mean, chemically castrate, you look at these things, you say, hold on a second. Once you've gotten a parent to abuse his or her child on behalf of an ideology, I think it is impossible for 99% of them to ever come back into the light of truth and to recognize what they've done, because they're going to want to say, well, I did the right thing. I did what the American Academy of Pediatrics. So it's really about everyone around the trans individual or the trans ideology that gets sucked into it, and that tries to suck other people into it too. And then, like I said, they own you, right? I mean, especially if you've done something irreversible to your kids on behalf of this, you're never going to. I know it's pretty dark, right? But I think that is what is going on, and that's why they won't back off of it, because it's just a way of having absolute power over people.
I like that. That's smart. I'm going to steal that and use that. I'm going to say that on my own show, not give you any credit for it. He is Buck Sexton. Thank you, my brother, as always. I appreciate it. All right. I would thank you for coming to my YouTube channel, but I know how brilliant it is, and I know you love it here. So subscribe and watch. We're going to start really ramping things up and putting some funny stuff, some interesting stuff out there, some collaborations. Either way, my YouTube channel is officially the place to be. So stick around.